Hello, everybody. Welcome to day 3 of the In-Demand Hairstylist Virtual Summit. I know so many of you are excited for today's guest, Miss Megan Carlisle. I know it's super early over there in Vegas. It's 11 o'clock here. It's like 8 a.m. there. Oh my goodness, girl. Well, thank you so much for being here. So for those of you that don't know Megan, she is a hairstylist, salon owner, freelance educator, and the owner of Platform Hair Extensions, which is how I originally got connected with you. A couple of girls that work at my salon got their certifications, and Platform Extensions have been a huge hit for us, such an income producer, and we are loving them. So yeah, and then just began following you and just am such a huge fan of your work, but also you as a human being. So so thank you so much for being here. If you want to just take a second and introduce yourself, let people know who you are, what you're most passionate about, and what you're currently working on, just so
Yeah,
we can get to know you.
absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, honestly. Megan, hey. I have been doing hair for, 15 years now. I went to hair school when I was 16, like one of those weird kids that graduated early and decided to start her career at 16. It was actually a way for me to pay my way through college. And I never thought it would be something that I would stick to. I just thought, okay, if I can graduate early, get to hair school, then I can work while I'm going to college, get my nursing degree. Like I had this whole plan set out. And I did end up going to college and started working as a CNA and hated it. Hated it. So I was like, man, all this time I've been doing hair. I love it. I'm like thriving and doing so good. But I always had this plan of like, I'm going to be a nurse. And once I started getting into the field and working more in it, I was like, this is just not the road for me. So I, at that point, like shifted all my gears, and my mom had to sit down and tell me like, you love hair. You love it. You're so good at it. You need to pursue it. It's a career for you. Like it's great, and in my mind, I just thought, gosh, I think she's right. I think I can do this. So at that point, I really started to dive deep into hair and really start focusing on just my passion in general, which is making people happy and making them feel good behind the chair. And I think that's a lot for a lot of hairstylists. They're the same. They want to make people feel good. They want to make them feel happy and have more confidence and do it in an artistic way. And I love doing hair. I think it's amazing. I work currently 3 days behind the chair. I own Platform Hair Extensions, which is great. Keeps me and my husband, he runs it full time. Keeps us very busy, which is great. This career could take you any place. Honestly, it's really been such a fun career to be in because I've worked teaching and educating and for celebrities and done so many other things. And I think if there's any advice I could give you in your career is to just say yes to opportunities, because it can really take you anywhere. I know we talked a little bit about me being kind of like I've picked this like niche to really focus my energy on. And that niche is blonding and extensions. And truthfully, if I'm being completely honest, at the beginning of my career, the first probably 5 years of my career, I thought people who specialized were nuts. I really did. I was like, if you're going to specialize, you're cutting off a whole nother part of this industry where people aren't going to come to you for. I was like, I don't understand why people will do just cutting or just blondes or brunettes and fast forward to the last, I don't know, 7 years of my career. And I've really fell into my groove of doing hair, and that's specializing in blonding and hair extensions. And I love it. Like, love it. I love the challenge of blonding and having control over the process. But what I will say is I love the clients that come with that too. We're all crazy to think that if we don't give it our all, that people are going to come back to us, right? So giving it your all in something that you actually love doing makes your job so much more enjoyable. And blonding for me is such a cool process because there's a lot there's a lot to consider, a lot to think about. And I'm always doing education. I'm always researching. I feel like I never know enough. I'm always taking classes. But also the kind of clientele that comes with that are people that want to invest in their hair, right? So I didn't want to work with people, and this may sound rude, but I didn't want to work with people who didn't care as much about their hair. I wanted to work with people that cared a lot about their hair and were kind of picky and wanted the best and would pay for that and would give me feedback. And blonding, people that are very passionate about their blonde hair are very passionate about their blonde hair.
True. So
So
true.
right? Like they want a specific tone and placement and the perfect pop in front. And some people may find that annoying, but for me, it is like, you give me all the details, you give me all your wants and needs, and I will give you what you want. And you're going to pay a price for that, right? Like you're going to pay a premium. And I like that. I think I like doing good work and putting all of my efforts into something that's going to turn out good and also reap the benefits of getting paid for that, right? Same with extensions. People that get extensions are lacking something, right? Length, fullness, they have fine hair, they need, they're lacking something and they want to feel like they have that. And so they're going to be picky about it, how it sits, how it feels, what does the texture of the hair feel like? How does it make them feel? How is their scalp? Is it keeping their scalp healthy? And is it keeping their hair growing? And blonding and extensions tend to get those like picky, high-end, high maintenance clients. And I love them, love them, because they're amazing clients. They're so loyal. And if you can deliver what they want, they'll never leave you ever. And they'll pay for all of your heart and soul that you put into them. And I love that. And I think if I could give really any advice to people about specializing, it's to figure out what you love doing, right? Like, do you love cutting? Do you love doing men's hair? Do you love blonding? And then figure out the why behind it, right? Like, why is it that you love doing these specific clients? Is there a theme between your favorite 10 clients, right? Are they all blonde? Are they all dark? Are they all teasy lights or full highlights? Like, what is it that you love doing and why? And then really hone in on that, because if you're having fun doing what you're doing and you're getting paid well doing what you're doing, you're going to continue doing it and making more money and staying in the industry longer and just feeling passionate in your day-to-day life,
Yeah, I love that. You're hitting so many good points here. And yesterday we had Jennifer Sikowski on, and she had
Yeah.
talked about really knowing who your target market is.
Yes.
I think that's so important, like this idea of niching. And I totally agree with you. Like, we've been in the industry long enough where we kind of started and it was like, do everything, do as much as you
Right.
can.
Right.
And even when I opened my salon, we were like a salon and spa. We did nails, we did massage, we did all of the things, and
Right.
it just kind of gets diluted
Yeah.
almost in a
Yeah.
way. So I love that. I love that, you're mentioning, that too, when you find that niche, when you find that thing that you're super passionate about, it then becomes like a challenge to continue to be better at that. And once
Yeah.
you become the best at something is when you can actually charge that premium price for something
Yeah.
as well.
Oh,
So I think that's something that you totally I'm so glad you mentioned that. Now, if anybody is wondering, so like, I'm kind of curious, when
yeah.
you first started out, you kind of did everything. And then you said that you sort of like, did it just happen naturally? Did you just sort of shift into like gravitating towards what you liked to do? Or was it that social media helped you attract more of those clients? How did you start, I guess, branding or niching yourself as a blonding specialist?
Yeah, such a good question. Truthfully, it kind of just happened. But if I had someone that like would have sat me down and said like, okay, you're good, but like, what are you really good at? And like, why are you good at that? And do you love doing that? I could have transitioned into that so much sooner in my career. So I think it's really important for people to like really sit down and take a look at their books, really find out what they're passionate about, and then focus all of their energy on that. I wish someone would have sat me down and said that truthfully, because it would have really changed things sooner for me. It did just kind of happen naturally. And that's also an option too. It just takes a lot longer for you to kind of make that transition and figure out what that is. But if you can like hone in on, do some soul searching on like, okay, what is it? You know, why is it? And then let's focus all my energy on that. I will say social media has changed the game for us, right? Like social media, I mean, 15 years ago, it was all word of mouth, you know, like you passed out your business cards, you did, it was old business. And now social media is literally everything. And if there's one advice I can give you about social media is you will get the clients you post. So I have an assistant and she she was like, I don't know why I'm getting all of these clients that have hair down to their butts and it's like horsetail thick and it takes me 5 hours to do. I have no idea. I just keep getting all these clients. And I was like, girl, that's all you're posting. That's it. You know, so like, what do you expect people that's what they're seeing. So that's what you're naturally shifting your specialty into that because that's what you're posting. That's what you're putting out in the universe. That's what people are seeing. Hence you get more. They're telling their friends who have long hair, thick hair, you know. And I said, that's not what you want. You need to shift your posting and shift your, you know, the energy you're putting out to the universe really. And if you have found what you like to do, that's what you need to post, period.
Yeah.
Right? Like that is it. If you like blonding, if you like brunettes, if you like perming, if you like men's cuts, like that 90% of your post should be that. And 10%, maybe even 20% should be you. So people can get to know you, but they should really be, that's it. They should be, you know, educational on toning and tones and pretty things and, you know, on that niche. But if you're not posting that and you're posting a very wide range, you're going to get all over the place. And that's fine if that's what you want. But if you're wanting to kind of really hone in on your niche and get that clientele and do specific education for that and become a master at it, post only that. That's the best advice I can give you.
That's so great. And I think of what a lot of people, especially stylists who are just starting out and they're trying to build a clientele and see some sort of financial payoff in this industry. Because as you mentioned, nothing comes easy. And I love where you started with that. You started when you were 16 and you've been in this industry for quite some time. And it didn't happen for you until later that you really started honing in on what that was and probably started reaping a lot of the benefits. So just patience is huge. But I know something that probably a lot of stylists who are either just starting out or maybe they've been in the industry for quite some time, but they've never kind of thought about finding that thing that they're truly passionate about and niching in on that and kind of just focusing on it. And I know it can be a scary thing for people to be like, oh my gosh, well, then I only offer one service. And so what would you recommend to anybody? So say someone is like, okay, I love blonding and extensions, but I actually really also love men's hair cutting, let's just say. What recommendation would you need? Because just because you're niching in something doesn't mean that has to be the only thing that you offer. If somebody has multiple passions, say 2 things or 3 things they're super passionate about, how would you direct them into sort of presenting themselves on social media or creating buzz around those services?
I think your stories can definitely offer a lot of that. Staying up on like trends and different like if it's let's say if it's men's grooming and barbering. I have a barber's license also and I do love barbering. However, for me, barbering is amazing, but it doesn't give me the financial support that I would love. So I've since transitioned out of like really focusing my energy on that as well. So it really is like a daily thing on, okay, how do I need to shift? But stories is a really great way, using your stories, keeping up on trends, using your polls. Do you like this versus this? And focusing that energy in your stories as well as your posts. And you're right. You don't necessarily have to focus on one thing, right? You can focus on 5 things if you like it. You could do hair as a whole, like we said. However, I think most people will find their success in focusing their energy on a few key things, right? If you try to be everything to everyone, you're going to end up burning yourself out. Really. And I've been there. It's exhausting. And then you lose your passion because then you're doing all of this hair you're not super passionate about, and it doesn't bring you the most joy because you're doing, you know, striped highlights for Sally and it turns out hideous. You don't want anybody to tell don't tell your friends I did your hair. It's so ugly, you know? And like, yes, we get clients like that and that's okay. But those aren't the clients you post or you focus energy on, or you post in your stories about, you know, you focus on what it is that you like doing. And when you get to a certain point in your career where you can really start saying yes and no to clients, you say no to the clients you don't want to take and you say yes to the clients. So currently I don't accept any new clients unless they're hand tied extension clients. And so I probably get 5 messages a day on if I'm accepting new clients. And I just say, no, 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 no. Are you, unless you're wanting hand tied extensions, that's something I'm willing to take on. So I think you can, if you want, focus on everything, but if you focus on everything, you're going to burn out pretty quick. So find out what those few things are that really bring you the most joy at the end of the day, and then focus your energy on them, and then utilize your posts and your stories and keep up on trends and education, and tell people the classes you're going to that are in that same ballpark. So if it's blonding, you're going to a blonding class. If you're barbering, you're going to a barbering class, or here's new trends with men's cuts, or, you know, and really focus your energy on those few things.
Got it. Yeah, I love that. And then, so if somebody's wondering, like, okay, their wheels are turning and they're like, all right, I know the few things that I really enjoy doing, like, how specific should they be getting when they're talking about their niche? So someone comes to my mind, like with obviously what you do, it's very specific. It's like
Yeah.
beachy lived in blondes and extensions, you know?
Right.
Another person that comes to my mind that I absolutely love is, I never know how to pronounce his name, but on AHN
Oh,
Cotran.
Chan, yeah.
Oh, amazing, right? And like his whole thing is almost like it's like dry hair cutting.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
super specific. So
Yeah.
like, can you give a few examples of just maybe people who you love, or just people that you like to follow that are super nichey, and like
Okay.
how specific you really should get when you're kind of thinking about what you want your thing to be?
Yeah, I love that. There's so many amazing people on Instagram. It's ridiculous. Like, I feel like I find passion in stylists in my own salon. Like, I love looking at people. But I do find myself gravitating more towards the things I like to do. So the lived in blondes, the extensions, people that are really excel in those areas are people that I definitely follow. Lo Wheeler Davis, you love, I mean, like her blondes, right. I know she's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But like her lived in blondes, her techniques are so amazing. I love to watch people that actually educate also, and like tell their formulas and like tell a little bit of breakdown. I believe like there is enough business for everybody, and we should be giving other stylists help and education and ways to recreate things on their own people. And so the people that I follow tend to do that. So like on Cotran, amazing at it. He does videos and tutorials, and here's little tips and tricks. He's amazing at doing that. Lo Wheeler Davis, Sammy Level 10. I'm really into my blondes, or you'll start seeing my transition into like more of a, it's like a true blonde, like a true bleach blonde, like a beach blonde, versus like that white, very ashy blonde that was trending for so many years. I really am going to start transitioning my clientele into that like very soft, milky, beigey blonde. And so I start following people that are also doing that, and looking for formulas and looking for, you know, education and different things. Find people that you like and follow them and ask them questions. And luckily we have social media and online education to be able to dive in and really ask people and learn from others, because there is like the second you stop learning and growing, the second you become an old hairdresser, and nobody's got time for that. We all got to keep learning.
Yep, very true, very true. And it just is so, like, it's so inspiring because I love that you are the creator of your your job, your career. Like, how
So
amazing is it? Almost like a fashion designer can create like their collection for the spring.
yeah,
I love that you are like, I'm going to start shifting, and my collection now is going to
yeah.
be these beautiful beachy blondes. I'm getting away from the ash cut. Like, how amazing and awesome is this industry that
So
once you truly
cool.
harness like what you're good at and what you're passionate about, gosh, you can just be the creator of your whole entire career. It's just such a beautiful thing. And
It so is.
yeah, right? It's so cool. It's so cool. Well, um, I love everything that you shared. I think that's going to be super helpful for people who are getting back into the salon, right? A lot of us, I'm in Pennsylvania, we still don't have an open date, but I know you are open, surrounding streets, people are starting to get back in the salon. And what an amazing time, right? To
Yes.
rebrand yourself.
Yeah.
If there was ever a fresh start, I
Uh,
feel like now is it, right?
yeah, this is it. Yes. Start fresh, figure out. And you know what? I'm a firm believer. I've taught so many business classes, and people are like, do you fire clients? Yes. Fire your clients. If you don't like them, that is how you curate this perfect clientele for you. If they are jerks and are not worth what they're paying you and are not nice to you, you let them go and tell them it's time that they find another stylist. Like, now is the time to really like take a look at your clientele, figure out what you want to do, keep all those amazing clients that you have, get rid of the ones you really dread seeing, and then start in investing in that niche and figuring out what it is you like and posting about it. And I'm telling you, the clients will come. They will come. You will find that you're going to get, messages about those clients that you want to do. You'll get them. You just have to focus the right energy on those people and that specific type of thing, and not the energy on the negative people or the people you don't want to do. Get them out of your life. So you're exactly 1000% right. This is the perfect time to figure out what it is you want and then do it.
Yep. Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Again, I know it's craziness over there with all of this going on, and I'm just so appreciative of your time today.
Of
If
course.
people want to learn more about you, about platform extensions, about who you are as a stylist, where can they find you at?
Social media, honestly, it's easiest for me to respond there. So I'm Meg Hair. And there's links to platform extensions in there as well. DM me, like, I am happy to answer any questions you have. I love when stylists reach out, have questions for me. There's a guy who reached out the other day and said he was a new stylist. How does he get foils closer to the scalp? I'm like, I love when people do that. Reach out to me. I'm so happy to help in any way possible. And I just love this industry so much.
Oh, well, thank you for that. And thank you for being just such a beacon of light in our industry and pushing it forward and just paving the way for so many others. I just appreciate you and everything that you do. And have an amazing day today. Thank you for
You.
being here.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me. I'm so appreciative of you. Have a wonderful day.
Alrighty, we'll see ya. Bye.
Bye.